When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Baker's, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Baker's worth it every time. Baker's, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply. When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Baker's, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Baker's worth it every time. Baker's, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
This is a podcast from Minute Media.
Hashtag no music, no intro. We are back with another episode of Hashtag Safe Sort of Podcast. I know it's been a while. We partly apologize, but on the flip side, sometimes you just need self-care. And obviously, Ryan and myself did that last weekend. I was in the Bay Area visiting my girl's parents, had a great weekend in the Bay Area. Ryan got to tell his story of being in Florida and some jet skis and what happened there. So we did take a break, but we are back. Not a whole bunch to talk about, obviously, because it's right in the middle of the summer. There are some Saints things we will hit up, though, that we missed. We're going to talk about just kind of what's the happenings around the NFL. But before we talk about anything, like we got to fucking start with the hellhole and shithole that our country is currently in right now. And we try not to get we do get political on this podcast. Like we don't. But last Friday, officially, Roe versus Wade was overturned in the Supreme Court. Like, I woke up Friday, checked my phone, just went through a couple of tweets where I just put my phone back down. It was just, and luckily for you, you didn't have a phone, but like the epitome of doom scrolling, that's all this past weekend was. And it was all the tweets that came out after it, completely justified. And it's just one of those things that I wish I could say, like, as a black man living in this country, like, I'm surprised, but I'm not, if that makes any sense. But part of me is surprised that it is 2022 and it feels like we went back in time 30, 40 years longer with Roe versus Wade being overturned. And shit's bad, bro. Like, shit's bad. Like, gas is high. The country is a mess, bro. And I'm like, I get it, right? Like, we don't like using football or sports in general as an escape because it's not. But fuck, shit, can I have something right now? God damn.
I would take preseason football right now, boy. Really?
Oh my God! So I just want to quickly talk about, get your thoughts on it. Just the state of affairs our country is in right now.
That's a whole podcast right there.
I know it is.
So me, man, like, I just feel like I was just talking I'm not gonna put his name up, but I was just talking about in DMs just about everything, and like, I asked him, like, doesn't it feel like the country headed off a cliff? And I don't know if that's just me, like,
not just you, bro. It's not just you.
It just feels like it, brother. I know I'm not the only one that feels that way, but I also know that I'm not. People have felt this in the past at some point. You know what I'm saying? People felt this when Bush got elected. People felt this when Trump got elected. But man, I'm just looking at everything
different, bro.
And I'm not somebody that like sit and watch like 24-hour news all day and stuff like that. But I just read And it's just like everything is going bad, man. And the things that used to kind of hold people together, even that's breaking down. Like, I mean, you had families separate over COVID, you know, like vaccine, no vaccine, mask, no mask, stuff like that. You know, families separate over Trump and Trumpism and who to vote for, and you know, Black Lives Matter and all that stuff. Now, you know, you're starting to see, you know, the right kind of stumping their foot in the ground and kind of, you know, making their comeback. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like a 1980, but they kind of making their comeback, and it's just like, it's just interesting. It's interesting to me, just like from a political standpoint, just because I love history, and I just love to see how things play out. History kind of repeats itself or whatever, or some people say history rhymes. Like, so I'm just trying to see where this thing goes. But damn, I look at it, I'm like, man, the United States can look completely different in 5 years. Like, think about it. Like, in 5 years, I feel like this country the country could not be a country in 5 years. And I don't think that's crazy to say. I think it could be completely different, you know? And, you know, people can write that off and be like, you know, you're just being hyperbolic or whatever. And maybe I am. I'm just saying, like, just the way it feels right now, it wouldn't completely shock me if, like, this is like some of the beginning stages of a completely changing America. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Because there's some things are just unattainable, man. Like, you got people out there like with Roe v. Wade, you know. I think most your average people have kind of nuanced opinions about abortion or whatever.
Yes.
Just pretty nuanced, you know what I'm saying? Like, not everybody just fits into one pro-choice and pro-life, you know, architecture. But you have, like, people that literally feel like you're murdering a baby. Literally feel like you're murdering a baby. And you have another side that feels like it's a clump of cells. I don't see how those two people just come together and shake hands and agree to disagree. Like, I just don't
just start singing Kumbaya, bro.
Yeah, it's just not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? And that's just that issue. Not to mention all the stuff, the racial stuff that we got going on, economic stuff.
Like just to put it in a football analogy, if you have someone that's pro-life versus someone that's pro-choice, and they just decide to just hug it out and just, you know, just get on the same page, that's like Baker Mayfield and the Browns just making up, bruh. It's not gonna happen, man.
It's not gonna happen, man.
Not gonna happen.
You know, that's like Sean Payton and Goodell just be like, my dog right there.
Come here, buddy. Just put her. I guess, and I didn't read. I glanced, but the most alarming thing from the opinion that Uncle Tom, Clarence Thomas, put out, spoke of, well, we should look at same-sex marriages. We should look at, like, that was put in an opinion of the Supreme Court, which, I mean, to be fair, in the past, the Supreme Court also in the past was also super fucking racist. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like history just repeating itself. And it's just like, America's just hustling backwards. It's just the best way I could describe it. And have you ever felt like, man, like, I'm not even proud to be an American anymore, bro. Like,
I just try not to, I don't even look at it like that.
Right, I get it. But like,
maybe if I'm like in a foreign country, I'm like, yeah, I'm American. But like, other than that, bro, it's like, I'm a Louisianian. From New Orleans, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, it's crazy though. But you know, like, you talked about Clarence Thomas' opinion, and it's something I've been thinking about for a while. I remember talking to Who That Homo about it, Eric, and you know, he doesn't think it's realistic. But I really do believe you're going to see a balkanization of the United States, meaning I think you're going to start seeing states start to reassert themselves and separate. And pretty much like even if you disagree with what the Supreme Court is doing, what they're doing is they're kicking a lot of things back down to the state.
Yep.
So states really can't reassert themselves and, have all the power they want to implement the changes they want, what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to abortion. If it comes to that with gay marriage, I would think most states would put some kind of allow gay marriage in their own constitutions. We know what states won't. Like, we already know. I live in one of them. Like, I know. We know what states won't put that in the constitution. And that's sad. But you know what I'm saying? Like, but it looks like it's coming to that, man. And it's like, it's like 1861 all over again, man. Like, but will it come to like a civil war or something like that? I don't know. Because Americans, we so damn comfortable. We're not trying to go to war. Like, you know what I'm saying? But
no, bro. Like, man, just to put this in an example. So I did this marketing thing for this movie. My daughter's been signed up for it for years. That she watches like animated movies, whatever. And she, and it's marketing. It's like a test screening, and she gets paid, and she's been doing this for years. My ex-wife signed her up for years. Whatever, extra coin in her pocket. And so I did it two weekends ago, and they split up the kids. Adults were in one quote unquote theater. The kids were in another theater. We watched this movie. And this lady behind me, sitting right behind me, there was a person in the marketing team was going around asking people what they thought of the movie. And this lady gets asked behind me, and she goes, are you new? I've been coming here for 15 years. I've never been asked that before. And the lady was like, no, man, I'm just checking to see like what your thoughts of the movie, blah, blah. She's like, oh, I don't like being put on the spot. I just want to answer my survey and just finish it. And I was there like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you're getting paid $170. This is paid money that you sat down for an hour and a half. And someone's asking you a question, and it's not in the same realm of what you were used to, and you're getting attitude? Nah, man. Could you imagine the fucking country in a civil war? Bruh. But also that just speaks to like the individualistic mindset that we had, like that's kind of like driven our country to like the fucking dump. Like everyone like is so individualistic, and it's just like that's like, do you know how conceited you sound that you're getting that much money, for whatever to just watch a movie? Could you imagine like $170 in a third world country, $20 in a third world country, $50?
Unbelievable. But that underscores another point with the economy. Right now the economy is still fine. You know what I'm saying? Things are still good. Yes, shit's expensive, but most people are working. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't go bad yet, but if shit go bad, like you start seeing 10, 15% unemployment and historic inflation, ooh, that's when it start looking like zombies coming out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's when shit get bad. And you got, women forced to have, unable to, execute the rights they want to with pregnancies. And you have all this other strife in the political arena. Oh, man. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
We just try to live and do a podcast, bro.
I tweeted earlier, like, y'all remember 2015? That was a good time, bro. Like, and it was probably terrible, but just compared to just like, it just was sane. It was like terrible, but sane. You know what I'm saying?
Rough, man. I'll say this to all our listeners, as a person who's been doing this a lot lately, man, live this shit up while you fucking can. Please live this shit up. With the combination of losing a parent at a relatively young age. My mom was 53. I was 33 when I was 33 when she passed. And then the shit that the country's in, like, just live life, whatever it is. If it's material things and material things fucking bring you joy on this physical fucking planet, and you can afford it, do you. Just live it up, please.
Live it up. I was riding on a boat in Destin, Florida this past weekend, bro, and you couldn't tell me shit, man. I just felt good. The breeze was blowing. I was like, man, had my drink, you know.
You got to tell the other part of the story, bro. You can't leave the listeners.
Oh, the jet skis.
Got to tell it, bro. Got to tell it.
Me and my wife, we on the jet ski. She on my back. We riding. We rode the whole bay, riding through the Gulf of Mexico, just chilling, enjoying ourselves.
Man, you was in the Gulf of Mexico?
Well, we got up close to the Gulf of Mexico.
Okay.
Because the old boy told us, like, look, you can go out there if you want. If you go out there, like, that's on y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I was like, you was in the Gulf, though?
Like, that's on y'all. Y'all go out there. So we didn't go in the Gulf.
Okay.
But, you know, finally we got done bringing a jet ski back. And he's like trying to direct me up the dock. And I'm like, okay. So I hit the gas and I'm off the mark a little bit. I gotta hit that little center groove. I'm thinking about to hit the reverse to slow down. I hit the gas.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Capsized the whole fucking jet ski, bro.
Oh, no.
Me and my wife go flying off of it, bro. She hollering about her shoe floating away.
Happy birthday, Bree. Happy belated.
It was so embarrassing, man. And then you gotta go through the part they'll tell you the embarrassing part of trying to get back on the jet ski in the water.
Oh,
and y'all know me, I'm a big dude, bro. So it was a struggle, bro. It was a struggle. And then when I get back, I finally get out the white dude that that's handling all the shit. He's like, bro, your pants bust wide open, bro. My trunks just bust wide open from the back to the front, bro. I was like, man, I want to run out of there, man. Get me out of here. I live about it.
Oh shit. I'm glad you're okay. In doing so, your phone got wet and you were off the map for a couple of days. Probably for the best, honestly.
Yeah.
So one thing I want to say, so just for our listeners, if you are a Patreon member and you're at the $10 level, I've been working diligently to try to getting the coffee mugs out. I think I have close to about 28 to still get out. But basically just so people know, as soon as, we get the monthly Patreon, that, takes some time, but once it finally comes to us, I'm immediately taking some of those, taking those funds, and then ordering as many of the mugs that I can. The only thing so in people who don't know what I'm talking about, if you would like a hashtag Saints or a coffee mug, all you have to do is become a Patreon at the $10 level, and everyone at the $10 level and higher is getting either a coffee mug. If you're at the $20 level, you can get a tumbler. In regards, so I'm about to pull it up right now. I've gotten a good number of mugs out. And so what we're asking for is for people who have received their mugs, please, 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 put that on social media, put it on Twitter, put it on Instagram, at us, hashtags, everything, because we're trying to get all these out. So there's been, we're upwards in the 15, 16 mugs have been delivered. So we're getting them all out. Hope they for sure before the start of the season they'll be they'll be done unless we continue to get more members. So we're just asking that you guys put it on social media if you haven't already. But it's been fun seeing our listeners get the mugs and enjoying them. It's a great mug. It's great quality. So for anyone who's joining us in New Orleans around October, around Halloween time. Hopefully there's still a country by then. The food for the VIP Patreon get-together paid for. We'll be catering Blue Oak Barbecue. We're going to be tons of fun. So again, please don't think that if you contribute that those funds are just being blown or whatever. They're not. We are 100% using them. Only the last two things, or one things I need to still do is we need to purchase the Seahawks tickets, the two tickets to the Seahawks game that we're going to raffle away for our Patreons as well. So a lot of things that we're doing for our listeners. The season's going to be here really fucking soon. Like we're already in June, bro. Like half the year's already gone, which is wild. Wow. Anything you wanted to add in regards to Patreons and anything like that?
No, man. Like you said, just post those pictures. I love them. Come this season, it's gonna be like we doing some shit. Like you know what I'm saying? Like we got the beat up coming for the end of October. We got the live streams. We're gonna do preseason. Like do some regular season games. Like we gonna have some stuff shaking, man. Like come a part of that Patreon. Like you gonna get the goods. You got the Discord. Like it's kind of quiet. Since Saints have been quiet, but man, come when the season training camp start, that Discord is gonna be life. Because Twitter can get kind of annoying at times. So Discord is kind of your little safe space to really talk some Saints football and get your feelings out without having to deal with the Twitter reactions and all that stuff.
Man, I will say this. This past weekend, I couldn't handle Twitter, man. I had to, I just had to just get off for a bit. It was good to kind of go to the Discord and just be like, you know what I mean, bro?
And it's not just about Saints. We got talk about movies, TV, gaming, wrestling, whatever. Just come in there and just like talk about whatever you want, man. Like it's just really like becoming a community. So if you become a Patreon at $1, it doesn't matter whatever the amount, you're a part of the Discord.
So while you were out of commission phone wise, let's get into some Saints things. So let's start off with some good news. It had been reported that Demario Davis had wanted some more money. He saw what the linebacker market had become when he had recently signed an extension. Like, what was it? I remember it was announced during like week one. Like
a week one game. It's like, oh yeah, Demario Davis signed an extension. Like,
it was against Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Might have been 2020? Probably 2020. I want to say it was 2020. Yeah, it was 2020. Yeah. So it was 2020. So at the time when he signed that contract, good deal. And then linebackers started getting paid. And so the Saints signed him to a 1-year contract extension, extending him to 2024. He can make upwards of $14 million, which consists in $10 million base salary, a $2 million roster bonus, and $2 million in incentives. It drops his 2023 base salary, and he gets a new workout bonus in 2023. We could say a lot of things about the Saints in some ways, but having DeMario happy, his contract situation resolved, you don't have to worry about it anymore. He's the heartbeat of the defense.
Man.
It's sometimes it's crazy that he plays for the Saints, of how good he's been for them.
It's unbelievable.
Considering like who he was as a player before he came to the Saints. Like he was a decent, okay linebacker, right?
No, he like literally started to become good with that, that season he had with the Jets prior to coming to the Saints.
Yes. Yep. That was the one. Yep.
And the Saints just struck gold, man. I don't know how they do it sometimes, but they struck gold. And like he's been of absolute value, even with this extension, man. It's still a great value. Yes, he's older, but he doesn't have a lot of tread on the tires. He's just a great value, man. Like I mean, honestly, like maybe I'm trying to think like greatest free agency signings by the Saints. Obviously, Drew Brees number one, but number two, man, maybe behind Jabari Greer. I don't know. Like he has been crucial to the rebirth of the Saints defense. Like he's been a crucial part of that.
It's ridiculous, man. It's absolutely ridiculous. He went from having a decent year, like you said, the last year when he was with the Jets, and then they signed him, and he's been like a top 5 echelon linebacker. And at points in some seasons, he's been like the best off-ball linebacker in football. In football, at linebacker, the Saints, like
the Saints, like that. Do you know what we've been through at linebacker, bro?
Curtis Lofton, David Hawthorne,
Ellerby.
Oh yeah, Ellerby was good though when he was healthy.
When he was healthy, yeah.
Stephon Anthony. Who was Jalen Dunbar?
Hey, I mean that's how bad it was. We were like, yeah, Jalen Dunbar.
Bro, we was hype over Jalen Dunbar.
Yeah, Ramon Humber. Ramon Humber gonna start this year.
So
Scott Shanley.
Oh man. AJ Klein was okay.
AJ Klein was fine, man. But that's just how bad we were. Like AJ Klein came in and he did his job. It was like, oh man, AJ Klein a beast.
And then the other Saints thing, but before we go, while we're still on linebackers, still don't know why Quan Alexander's not back. Like I don't get it. Maybe they just not gonna revisit that. Whatever. Let's switch gears. So the whole thing regarding the AK suspension thing, it comes out like it was weirdly like I don't know. Mike Florio kind of reported that the 6-game suspension, like the Saints are like bracing for impact for this 6-game suspension that AK may get, which isn't surprising to any of us, but it's just one of those things. It's like, so they're going to suspend him before we find out what's going on criminally, and this is where the NFL gets themselves in trouble. Like there's no set rhyme or reason in terms of like when they suspend players, because sometimes they wait till the investigation is done, other times they don't. And then AK like fired back at Florio on Twitter asking him when it's God coming back to earth, since he knows everything essentially. I will say this. I believe that the team is embracing for a suspension of Alvin Kamara.
Mm.
Don't know when it's going to come. I was initially thinking that it may not even come this season. It may have been something that came, next season, until his criminal situation got resolved. But it seems like with this report, it may happen sooner rather than later. My takeaway from this is twofold. One, I'm not going to say that the Saints didn't have a plan for his replacement, but whatever their plan is, it hasn't worked, because if AK gets suspended right now, the starting running backs is Mark Ingram and like Abram Smith and Tony Jones Jr.
Yeah.
That's gross, bro. Like that is like, it's one of those things where I feel like it's like, okay, we got Jarvis Landry, we got Chris Olave, maybe 70% of Mike Thomas. It opens up everything for AK, but then it's like, oh shit, now our running backs are complete like shit now. So what my second question, so that's my take on my question to you is, what these dudes gonna do at running back? They gotta do something.
So I still want to know, man. Like I can't. I still can't believe that running back is finished. Like, even if you think AK is not suspended, like, you got to add somebody. You got to add somebody. You know, whether that's right now during the off season or, you know, during training camp, in the training camp when players get cut, you got to add somebody. It's like, it's not good, man. Like, AK is so crucial. I mean, people look at them 5-game losing streak we had last year, and, you know, they kind of blame it on Trevor Siemian, which, you know, is understandable, but AK didn't play those games. You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't a coincidence that the 5 games he was out, those are the 5 games we lost straight up. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I wish there was like a plea deal with like the NFL, like, because if I'm AK and the Saints, I want to just get it out the way. Like, if it's the first 6 games, do it now. Like, just bite the bullet, give me the 6 games, get it out the way. It's gonna suck, but at least you're able to plan for it and prepare for it. But my fear is that it's just one of those things that just pops up, you know, fucking week 13 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's
like right in the middle of like a playoff push, bro.
Exactly. Like, so I would rather them just get it over with and bite the bullet. And we just don't know. We don't know. Like, the NFL doesn't report. NFL teams don't even know how it's going to work. You know what I'm saying? They don't know when the player's going to be suspended. They can prepare all they want, but you just don't know. They have, like, the NFL has like a new arbitration process that they're doing. It's, you know, so we don't know how it's going to shake out, man.
We have no clue how it's going to shake out, and he's the most important player on the team. Like, I feel like I don't think that's – I think the percentage of him being the most important player of the team has been alleviated a little bit with Jarvis Landry and Chris Olave, because now there's weapons of some kind at the wide receiver position, but he was by far the most important position on the team last year. I think the percentage of that pie, if there's a pie, has changed and maybe decreased, but I don't want to knock the importance of him if he doesn't play. Like, and here's the thing, it's like slim picking. Like, in terms of like free agency, there's no free agent running backs out there you would want to sign. So it's really going to be, you know, you just, you know, maybe a surprise starter or someone gets cut in training camp, like you alluded to, that you were expecting to potentially make a team, didn't make a team, they get cut, and they sign and they pick them up and just go that way. But I'm just saying, it's looking bleak right now. You know, and even when he is back on the team, I'm not sure Mike Ingram can be the running mate, bro. Like, I don't know.
He's been broke down for a couple of years now, man. Like, I love Mark. I love what he brings to the team, you know, in the locker room and stuff like that. But, you know, he's on the tail end, bro. Like, he's broken down, his knees, his legs, his ankle. Just not what it was. And, you know, we'll see Abram Smith. We'll see what he can do. We don't know. You know, and who knows? Like, he might be Chris Ivory this preseason. Like, you know what I'm saying? We don't know what can shake out. You know, a lot of those questions get answered. You know, I remember last year the question was cornerback. It was like, oh, what we going to do with cornerback outside of Lattimore? And, you know, Don't Vex Me, bro, came up.
Bro.
Held it down, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Is that your cat?
Yeah, she right here.
Okay. I thought it was mine. I was like he's in the bedroom, but
it's anytime I start talking on the podcast, she roll up like, you talking to me?
Oh, that's funny as hell.
That bitch bit me earlier.
you know
I don't know it, man. Just like she was in that jungle mode where, like, you know, when they get behind something and just like,
oh, yep, I know exactly what that is.
Just pop out, just what is wrong with you?
So obviously your cat does it too. I always tell my girl, like, when our cat does it and after he calms down, I say, Now we see how we can deal with it and how he gets and he's he's like a little over 1. I said, can you imagine like a fucking cat in the wild like getting I can't. I sent you that Instagram reel of that big cat growling, bro. Scared the shit out of me, and it was a video.
Man,
amazing creature. Anyway, thank you for asking our listeners for questions, and so you asked it on the Discord, you asked it on Twitter. I'm just going through our mentions on Twitter, bro. I'm just gonna go through them. We're gonna do a mailbag Q&A of questions. Let's go. Let's start. Tommy Reynolds, Tom Orland at Tom Orland 75 asks who's left tackle. Hashtag put him in the hearse, baby. Put him in the hearse.
Put him in the hearse. You read it.
He is. I'm going to say 2 things. One, I thought James Hurst was going to be the starter regardless of what they did at the tackle position. But 2, if James Hurst can be serviceable at left tackle, I'm not even saying great. I'm saying serviceable to a decent starter at left tackle, and Kenny Pickett or Jermaine Johnson, like either one of them go on having great careers, and Trevor Penning, not. I'm just saying, bro. Like one of the things, and this could be one of those things where it's like fan perception versus team perception. I didn't see left tackle being such a huge need for the team because I was like, James Hurst can be okay. Like he's not awful.
Right.
So I thought that position could have been addressed at a different time, but we're gonna see. But I think it's Hurst that's gonna start at left tackle. I know it's gonna be a competition in camp. I don't think it's gonna be relatively close. And I mean, when we said this, even as soon as he was drafted, right? So,
yeah.
No.
That doesn't mean anything. Like, look, Teron Olmstead didn't start.
Correct.
At the beginning of his rookie season,
especially for these offensive linemen that come from like small colleges, man. Like it
just takes time, bro. It's tough, and these D linemen ain't no joke. Like it's tough, bro. Like
you gotta learn like a in the Saints, scenario like a complicated offense.
Saints offense is no joke. So, him not starting in the beginning of the season, I'll look at that as like, oh, he's going to be a bust. It's just, it could take time. You know what I'm saying? I remember, we talked about it before when, Teron Armstead had to come in and, it wasn't good. Like, Teron Armstead, it was not good, but, he became one of the better left tackles in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see with Trevor Penning, but, you got Hurst, bro. Like Hurst has started at left tackle, and played solid. The big question about the O-line is just health. Like, just can they stick together?
It's health, it's cohesion, and it's 51, which is the next question from Twitter. Yes. Wayne at Wayne in the water. What the fuck is it gonna take for DA to fucking get rid of Ruiz? Bro, I'm reading these questions just as they will sit there, bro. I think it would take, and I know this sounds kind of morbid, bro, but it's gonna take like a play where he does one of the patented Ruiz whiffs, and it leads to the quarterback getting injured, just like what happened against the 49ers. I think it's going to take like another one of those for him to like get benched.
I just want to see. I'm not going to say I want to see it, but I kind of want to see in preseason he does one of those Ruiz whips, and just Jameis gets annihilated, but doesn't get hurt. Just gets annihilated, and he gets up and he has those bug eyes like he had with Tre'Quan Smith. Like, what the fuck is you doing, bro? I just want to see that, bro. Because DA won't be able to hide from that shit, bro. Like, bro, like, come on. I don't know who was starting this place. No idea. But come on, man. Like, come on. And look, maybe, might surprise us.
He might. Like, maybe all it needed was Doug Marrone and different coaching, and he's going into year 3. He's not going to be center. You're going to be at right guard.
If he is just average, I'll be fine. Like, if I see just average guard play, just average.
This is where shit is. Can you be Pete?
Be Pete. Just be average, Pete, man.
We're fine, bro. We're not hard to please. Just be Pete.
Yeah, you're going to be on the ground every now and then or whatever, but just be Pete.
That's it. I mean, bro, the Andres Pete career arc is an amazing thing.
Like, I think Ruiz was the best thing that happened to Pete. It's just like,
that one of my favorite gifts of all time is that Russell Westbrook griff when he eating on the sideline, he's looking around.
Yeah,
brother, that's Andres Pete. Every time Ruiz getting cooked, he's like, "Oh, this nigga getting fucked up now. Don't mind if I do." They like keep sending the line that way. Don't bring it over. Don't bring it over. Bob for marketing at Come Fly with B4 BEE4. What holes are left for the team to fill? You and Adam are GM. Who are you getting to fill these spots? I'll let you start.
Well, that's kind of answered by one of our patrons, our boy Bunchy. Bunch has Ebron,
Eric Ebron. He's out there.
Bro. He out there like Ebron or Jerry Cooks. I'm sorry.
Bring him back.
Bring him back, man. Like, come on, man. Like, I don't see a reason why not. I do see a reason why not. Like, we know, like, even see the Deuce through a little.
Just threw that man under the bus and backed it over multiple times, bro. Yes.
I said bring Eric Ebron. Like, even Cam Jordan was like, what? Ebron still free agent? Like, get up in here, man. Like,
he would instantly become tight end 1. So tight end, think Ebron would be a good signing. I know he may be washed, but fuck, like, we can't be picky right now. I've been
a body that can catch, man.
Bro, that's it. Me and you've been saying bring Jerry Cook back for the longest time. This is something I would do, and it would seem like it's not needed, but I am terrified of the current status of the edge position on the team, bro. Marcus Davenport, Peyton Turner, injuries galore, bro. Like that should be the strength of the defensive line. Like, the strength of the defense is like they could just send pass rushers. Cam Jordan, Tano, Big Creep, Marcus Davenport, Peyton Turner. You just rotate them. Everybody fresh, but because of the injuries, and they are not like, oh, they got like a fucking sprain. They got like like, these are injuries, bro. Like, Peyton Turner's been, and this is not me piling on Peyton Turner. These are just talking facts. Peyton Turner got injured like midway through the season, or week 5 or 6 last year, and he's been hurt since then. And so I'm calling up JPP. Call up JPP, and I say, hey,
he's still out there?
Yeah, he visited the Ravens a couple of weeks ago, but he's a free agent.
Oh, man, like, make that call.
But I'm saying, hey, you don't got no hand. We got a player that's amputated his pinky. Like, y'all can figure it out. The handshake, something. It's rush the passer, man. Like, that's what I would do, because I think Now my answer changes when training camp comes around if they're healthy. But like if training camp comes around, bro, they turn it on PUP. Bruh. We gonna have to have a conversation.
That's gross.
We gonna have to have a conversation. Let's go to the next question. Tyler at Saints fan 764. What situation are you more worried about on offense? Running back depth and AK suspension, the tight end position as a whole, or O-line consistency?
Ooh,
it is. I go running back. I go running back depth and AK suspension.
Yeah.
We I think we like last year, as bad as tight end was, like tight end with drafting Chris Olave and signing Jarvis Landry, a great tight or decent tight end is more of a luxury, but like that AK suspension and running back depth.
That's what I'm, like literally if AK plays the season, like that's the difference between a potential Super Bowl season or not. Like I'm not saying like the Saints have like a high probability of making to the Super Bowl. They don't. But if he plays the whole season, they have a higher probability of making. If he doesn't play like 6 games, their probability of making almost nothing. Like they almost have no probability. I wouldn't say no probability, but it's extremely low if he doesn't play the whole season. You know what I'm saying? So like his suspension is huge. Huge, man. Huge, bro.
It can make or break the season. Our dude EJ Ed at Bourbon and Beer said, "Can you please tell these Twitter accounts to stop reminding us how many days till Saints football is back?" I'm trying to have a nice, peaceful football off season. I know that's right. But like I said earlier, bro, at this point, like, give me a Hall of Fame game.
Right. I'm ready. Ooh, give me a Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame game. Brock, our guy on Twitter, he's great in the Discord. He asked us a question that I feel like we can't answer this right now in this episode. It'd be a good episode for a future pod, though. He asked, do y'all like having all Saints team draft? Each position, anybody in our history as they were when they played with us. So no guys like Dershberg that were washed with us, but great elsewhere. Who's going 20-0 and hosting the trophy? Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good mid-July.
Yes.
Mid-July podcast, right?
Yes. We'll work on that. We'll work on that. At Super Menace 9 or N90, how happy are y'all that Cleveland saved the Saints from themselves? Listen, I am ecstatic that we get to continue to do this podcast and talk about the Saints. But like every time something comes up with Watson, and for anyone who's not, up to date, the NFL is trying to suspend him indefinitely, bruh. Not a year, not a season, indefinitely. Every time something, perks up, I read something came out. So someone is suing the Houston Texans. One of the victims is suing the Houston Texans now. And like in her statement, this man was like humping the table and like ejaculating on the table. Like,
damn, bro, like calm down, man. Like
just the way you said it.
Like we like look, me and you are men. Like we understand. Like
we do, bro. We do.
We understand the thirst now. Like.
But like I've never been so like I'm not a power driven like sexual predator, but like at no point in my life am I like, man, I'm so horny, I need to hump something and like just get released that way. Like Jesus Christ, it's one thing after another. So every time something comes up, I'm reminded, I'm like, they really went like full court press after this too. Like it's
Yeah, man.
It's crazy. Like, and it makes me, I get upset again, and I get like, oh, this fucking team. And it's like this little hanging like cloud hanging over all the things, the great things that they did in free agency, because they started free agency with that. So on one hand, yeah, Cleveland saved the Saints and, you know, the Falcons and whatever, because they were the only team that was going to offer him a contract like that. But I'm still not like taking any blame away from the Saints, because they were the ones who
giving them the side eyes.
Yeah, absolutely. What are your thoughts on it?
No, man, I'm thankful they saved the Saints. I'm glad to still be recording the podcast. I'm glad to still be able to, you know, be a Saints fan, because I mean that was not a good moment for this franchise, you know. And you know, I give them the side eye just like you know, probably not to that point, but you know, I just look at them like, yo, they fell for it. You know what I'm saying? They fell for it. Just that thirst, you know, just like you got that thirst.
Yep.
They had that thirst too, you know. They fell for it, and they couldn't just say nope. They couldn't do it. You know, sometimes you just got to do that. You just got to say nope. As enticing as it may be, sometimes you just got to say nope.
It's just
take it off the board.
And we don't know how, obviously, the suspension with the NFL is going to play in regards to Watson, but imagine as an organization, and I don't give two shits about the Browns. Like, they brought this all upon themselves, but they gave up 2-3 first-round picks for him. And like, imagine if he's suspended a year and a half.
Like, just think, like, it seems like the people just like they weren't thinking through this.
Well, what you just said it, bro. The thirst, like, what? We can get a quarterback. What?
It's amazing watching it, though. It's like, what is nobody just thinking clearly on this? That's what I kept asking myself. When people's just at our necks in the Twitter and all that, it's like, why are you not seeing this clearly? You don't want this. I guarantee you don't want this.
I can guarantee you, if you were to ask them if they regret trading for Deshaun Watson, they unequivocally would all say yes.
Yes.
Like, off the record. Like, they wouldn't tell you that on the record, but like, fucking match. And again, he was part of it, but like, imagine Kevin Stefanski right now, bro, going into work every morning.
Like, fuck.
That's on them. This is at Mr. Tweet Your Girl. Who will the Saints turn to with AK suspension looming? So I've already how much y'all think he paid to avoid charges. I mean, his court dates are getting continued, so he's not avoiding any charges right now. There's no type of settlement.
Vegas.
How big of a leap will Marshawn take now that he's able to focus on football and not blindside tackles from teammates? Listen, man, I'll say this. Yes, sometimes he got some friendly fire from Marcus, but Marcus Williams also made his job a whole lot easier. That's all I'm going to say.
Man, my dude, he just was not a Marcus fan, bro. The girl? Yeah. Marcus, he was not a Marcus Williams fan, man. I understand it, bro. Like, I get it.
I'll say this, though. If the Minnesota Miracle never happened, would he have been a Marcus fan?
I don't know. But he had lumps in this game. Don't get me wrong. He did some goofy things, but I think the last year and a half or two, like, he just solidified himself. Just good ass free safety, bro.
Yep.
He was just good, man. Like, he was just good, man. Like, I don't know how else you just could look at it, bro. Like, the player in the free safety position, the pressure we put on that position, like, you got to be 25 yards downfield and literally be the last line of defense. And he did it, man. Like,
he did. At a high level, too, man.
At a high level, bro.
Who would Juice call out in the wide receiver room first? Traquan Smith. That's easy. If Traquan's on the team.
Easy.
If Traquan's on the team. Traquan might not make it.
You gonna get that. What is you doing?
Traquan might not make it to the 53-man roster.
You don't think he gonna make it, bro?
I don't. I'm just saying I don't like it's. If I'm the Saints and all this Deontay
if you had to choose, like if you were DA and everybody, and it came down to Traquan and Callaway. He chose Callaway.
It's not even. I don't even have to think about it very long.
It's interesting.
Yeah, easily. Because at least with Callaway, as last season went along in the season, there was growth from him as a player. Mm-hmm. Has Traquan grown in the 4 years he's been in the league?
It's hard to see.
I'm just saying, bro. Like you could see some growth, and maybe Callaway had to grow because he was thrust in the role as a number one receiver, and he didn't have a choice but to get better as the season went along. But like you saw, like legitimate growth in him as a player. Traquan been Traquan for 4 years, bro. Like, you know, and then he probably, you're gonna miss 4 or 5 games a season. Give me at least Callaway's healthy. He's healthy. I'll take Callaway, and it's not even close. Dustin Paul at Dustin Paul 82 asks, which record label would the Saints defense be? Cash Money or No Limit?
Saints defense?
Yes.
I'm gonna go with No Limit. I'm gonna go with No Limit because they're deep. Because they're deep. I was like, I'm a Cash Money dude. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm a Cash Money and No Limit dude, but I always Cash Money in my heart. I'm gonna go with No Limit because they just had a deep ass roster. I mean, they like 98, bro. They put like 30 albums out. It's just ridiculous. It's like, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like that, especially like in the secondary. I just feel like the Saints just got that deep. Just keep coming. Another cornerback.
Jesus, these niggas don't stop. That's a great it's a great analogy. Let me go back to Twitter. I get Mike. He just spelled it name backwards. At Easy Stunner, would y'all kick the tires on bringing back Latavius? Yes.
Of course.
Easily. Would Latavius want to come back?
I don't know,
man. Especially how things went, and he got like unceremoniously cut. Yeah, not bad. Tommy Reynolds had another one. He had who's replacing the speedy linebacker Quan Alexander. He's not on the roster. That player does not exist.
He weren't big.
Yes, but he's also like different.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the things that Pete Warner does well, he does really well. But the things that Quan did well, like, that was specialized, he did really well. Like, I would say as of right now, like, there isn't, I don't think there is being replaced.
No, there is no Quan on the roster.
No. I don't think it is being replaced. Renee at Renee 3K, which camp battles competitions will y'all be paying close attention to? For me, the number one camp battle should be Ruiz versus Throckmorton and Landon Young. But it's not going to be a camp battle. Someone will probably the most interesting camp battle would be Hurst versus Penny. No, it's not. It's not going to be a camp battle. The most interesting camp battle is going to be Alontae Taylor versus Paulson Adebo versus Bradley Roby.
Mm-hmm.
Period. And again, it's going to be fascinating, man, because if Alontae Taylor has a good to great training camp, I don't know how it's going to work out. I don't know how it would work. It's a great problem to have, but he got to be on the field some type of way. He got to be.
No, and if he's playing well in the preseason, you know, on the outside, covering wide receivers, man, like, no face, we got to be looking over his shoulders, man. You know,
say it
like just, and it's messed up because like, Austin Debo played great last year, like as a rookie. He took a lump or two, you know what I'm saying? Like he gave up with the plays here and there, but like as a rookie, like if P. Rob had played like Austin Debo his rookie year, we'd have been fucking ecstatic. You know what I'm saying? Like he played well, man. Like he played really well. But, you know, just the length and ability that Alante Taylor brings, potentially brings. We'll see. You know, I think he could beat out Debo, bro. He could beat out. He might, Debo.
Bro. He might.
That doesn't mean like a Debo's gonna be cutting nothing like that. It just means you got a deep roster of cornerbacks, man. Like, that's a good problem to have. And as far as Roby, I think, you know, with his salary and stuff like that, you can end up back on the trade block, you know?
Yes. Real quick.
And you should be able to get something, too.
Yeah, like it might. I mean,
they third.
No.
Like we gave up on, but, you know, you give us something.
Fourth. I don't think if you get a fourth. Maybe a fourth or a fifth, depending on the team, how badly they wanted one in the corner. Our dude, Mitch at TB_Diggy says, I feel nothing for this season for some reason. How do I get that spark back in my life? Mitch, don't, bro. You've achieved bliss.
This is good. Like, this is not a bad problem.
Not a bad problem at all. We're not gonna give you any tips because you don't need any. Just enjoy. Just be along for the ride. Once you're, you know when they talk about like mad or fucking, what is it, the pyramid of like hierarchy of, I can't think of who it fucking is, but like the top is like self-actualization and like people hardly reach there, bro. When you stop fucking being emotional about sporting teams, bro, you reach that self-actualization, realization. Good. You reached it, bro. Just, Mitch, enjoy it. Now, usually I will say that typically it kicks back in training camp and especially like preseason. But if it doesn't, you're golden. Dean of Cooch University at _DatBoySlim, who is the originator of the term two first. Why Jarvis had his white wife doing no accents. It probably was on Instagram, I believe. Yeah, I don't know. Is she from Louisiana? Like,
I don't know.
Could be. I don't know. EC4 at ECIV 627 said, "Who's tight end one?" Oh, like, if healthy, Taysom Hill, but like the man got, and that people keep like bringing him up. Like, this man's he might play in October. This man's coming off a Liz Frank injury.
He's still making news, man. Like DA said something about him in his final presser, and like aggregated news media was like, Taysom Hill, playmaker. Like, like, bro, this dude coming off of Liz Frank, bro. Like,
Liz Frank.
We'll see, man. Like,
well, yeah, I mean,
he's in his 30s.
He is. So if he was healthy, I would say Taysom Hill, but he's not healthy. So I think it's Adam Troutman by default. Finding Nemo, but we'll see. At Mr. Tweet Your Girl again asks, who will Jameis' first big hit come at the hands of Peter Ruiz? Easily.
Absolutely.
Easily. Will Two First earn his real name this season or continue to be a draft compensation? We gave him his name back last season. We gave his name back.
He got to feel back though. I don't.
As soon as we did, bro, I get his finger cut, bro. Which is no fault of him.
Right. It's just annoying, man.
It is. So anyway, he's earned his name back at least to more degree than Who First has. At QC, not the label as would you like to see Eric Ebron signed to the team? Go and answer that. Yes. Ron Lewis at Ronzo South says, how much is fucking beer going to be this year? I don't know. Beer is gross. Let's see. Benny
going up.
But my advice, Ron, is to pregame before the fucking game.
Yes.
B Henny 504. We already hit the DeMario extension. Next great Saints linebacker. Will it be drafted or free agency signing? They already drafted him last year in Pete Warner, which is a crazy turnaround, which how Ryan and I thought about him when he was drafted. Straw Hat Indu at Chin. Oh my God, I can't read that, bro. I'm just going to read the question. I know it was said the podcast might talk other things other than football. What's y'all's favorite video game of all time? Mine is Zelda, Ocarina of Time, N64. Well, Ryan is not a big gamer, but do you have an answer for that?
I'm old school, baby. Old school, baby. Mortal Kombat. Sega Genesis. All day.
Still.
ACABB for the Blackpool. Let's go.
Still. Like, that game was so revolutionary for its time.
Like, I played that game so much. It's ridiculous.
Did you know, I only found this out watching a YouTube video, that in Mortal Kombat 2, there was literally something in the game where as you went higher in the pyramid, the game got harder, like almost an impossible level of difficulty, and started doing things like the opposing player that you're fighting against, the character was doing things like before you even made your move. Like in the coding. There's a whole
makes sense. Mortal Kombat 2 was hard, bro.
Hard, bro. Yeah. It was in the fucking coding. Okay, let's go. So we're gonna go through our Discord ones. If you could pick one position, group, player, not Jameis, to exceed expectations this year, who is it? That's a great question. That's from Brian. Ooh, man.
Exceed expectations. Exceed expectations.
I'm gonna say. Go ahead.
I was gonna go running back.
Okay.
I mean, because expectations are extremely low. I'm saying outside of AK, like maybe it's just Abram Smith love. Like I'm just saying he's gonna have a quintessential, Saints UDFA rookie running back. Like, who is this guy? Like,
I'm gonna go, and I don't think the expectations for him are trending up, but which is wild for me to say this. I'm gonna go Pete Warner, bro. I'm gonna go Pete Warner. I think that after the season ends, he may be looked at as one of the better off-ball linebackers in the league one year. So I think he could have that type of season. Completely have done a 180 on him as a player. And then Brian also has another question too. Who is the one player that worries you the most and could most negatively impact the team? Not Ruiz, because duh.
gotta think of them.
Most negatively impacted team. That's a good one. Brian brings some heat.
I'm gonna go with James.
Interesting.
Not that I think he's gonna fail. I really don't. But man, if he it's possible that he just has a bad season. It's not like something that's out of the realm of possibilities. Like he's cemented to have 330 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. That's not cemented. What if he has a 23 touchdown and 14 pick season? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's possible. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen, but that's my word. Like, we're really hoping a guy coming off his ACL, who's on his second team, that had a rough out as a starting quarterback, comes in and be a above average starting quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. Like I'm saying, we're putting a lot of hope in that.
Yep.
I'm just saying. And I am too. I'm putting a lot of hope in that. I'm a part of that, team. But it in the back of my mind, it does worry me a little bit.
No, it makes a lot of sense that it may not go well with Jameis as starting quarterback at all. I'm going to say Peyton Turner, man. And I look at it in the sense of if he is not a factor on defense, whether it's injury or just not good, one of the two.
Ooh, bust.
Ooh, buddy. That we talked about it in text messages, man. This trade the first round picks the Saints done had.
Oh man,
gotta play.
If he don't work out, boy, that's a bad string of first round picks, bro.
That it was Davenport, Ruiz, then Peyton Turner. Whew. That's not me saying Davenport's a bad player, but you traded 2 first round picks to get him,
right.
And overdrafted him. So, and again, so that's because and I've said this so many times on this podcast, for the defense to be like elite, like Peyton Turner needs to be good to great, as does Marcus Davenport. And if Peyton Turner is not healthy and he can't give you, like, if he can't steal snaps away from Tano as the first round pick, bro, we got problems. We got problems. 3, Brian again asked, what would be the funniest way for the season to go?
Funny. The funny is Saints start off 1-5. 5-0. AK, whole team together. Saints rolling. Chris Olave coming alive. Things cooking. And then AK gets suspended. 6 games. And the Saints go 0-5. So they end up 5-5. AK come back. And, they win like 3 more games. Like, that would just be like such a hilariously sad season. Just hilarious. Hilariously sad season. And then in the final 2 games, like, I'm not wishing this, but like, say James get, ankle injury or something, and this red rifle season, baby. Like,
it's funny. As you were talking, I was like, man, the funniest way the season would go was like if Jameis went down and like Andy Dalton was like 2015 Andy Dalton, bro.
Bro, that'd be like, and still missed the playoffs.
Like he just out there just
yards,
slinging it, bro.
Slinging it, man.
I'll never forget that Bengals game when they had against the Seahawks in Seattle, bro, that year.
Yep, I remember.
Andy Dalton put it on him, bro.
Don't carry that thing like, what's up?
Put it on him, bro. Like that was like they were announcing themselves to the league in that game. Was that the year they went out and lost in that crazy Pittsburgh game with the Vontaze Burfict? Was that year?
Just crazy.
Intercepted the ball, ran it back, ran it up the fucking tunnel. Oh, that would be the funniest way for us. Just us go, being red rifle season. That would be funny. I'll ask one more. Confidence in DA putting on another masterclass versus Tampa in week 2. I'm talking about defense out there being dominant, meat swinging, absolutely cutting the fuck up in the dome. It's like pretty hot, bro. Like I don't know if it's gonna be a shutout, but
I'm pretty high, especially if they lose week 1.
Yes.
If we play Atlanta week 1, right? Yes. If we lose to Atlanta week 1, boy, they beat the shit out of Tampa Bay. I promise you. I promise you that. I hate that it works like that, but
yeah, losing to the Falcons with that roster, bro. So thank you guys for those questions. That was fun. We'll try to do a little more of these. Especially with training camp coming around, we'll do more of these. One of your thoughts on what's going on in training camp. Obviously, we just read reports and hear shit just like you guys do on Twitter regarding training camp. None of us are going to are you going to be out? Are you going to go training camp, bro? In the hot house?
I want to. We'll see, but I want to make when they do their big, black and gold.
This black and gold scrimmage.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to make that, but if it's during the week, it's hard.
Yeah, man, it's just hard. You being in obviously we're both in different states. You're 2 hours away, but it's hard, man. With us having careers and stuff. But we wanted to just get on here, record an episode, give you guys more content. I know it's been a while. We did take a little vacation, have a little break, but we're back. We're hoping to get Hal Hickle Industrial Light and Magic on here, talk some Star Wars things, even if we're not able to talk about streaming shows on Disney Plus in terms of Star Wars. We can still have great conversations with Hal. We'll see. Hopefully, we can get Greg Cosell on here. We still got things coming in terms of the pipeline for interviews and stuff. So be on the lookout for that. Thank you for listening. If you are a fan, we ask, please just retweet on Twitter, post it to your stories and Instagram when we put it on Instagram. If you're a Patreon, thank you so much. If you're not a Patreon, if you have the ability to become a Patreon, we understand if you can't, it's expensive as shit. Expensive as shit right now, bro. Living in this world with everything going on, but it does have tons of perks that we would like to share with you. So please do that. I want to rev up the get to 200 Patreons before the season. I think we're about 30-ish away or so, but we're going to keep pushing. No, we're not 30-ish away. We're 70 away. Yeah. But we're gonna keep pushing. So with that, we appreciate you. Thank you for all the questions. It was great. Great to be on again and record. We'll be back next week. With that, we're out.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Catch those springtime vibes all over Arizona. Break out of the winter blues by hitting the water at one of our lake and river parks. Take a hike among the wildflowers. Just make sure to stay on the trails and leave the flowers for the bees. Discover Arizona's best kept secret and visit azstateparks.com/amazing to start your springtime adventure.